NetsBoy, so let's hear what he has to say. His name is NetsBoy, he thinks the world is all over when the Nets just can't play. What up, Net fans? NetsBoy here, bring your latest in your worst in the world of basketball Brooklyn Nets news. I don't normally do NetsBoy episodes so close to each other because my last episode was like 3 days ago or 4 days ago. Usually I, have about like a week in between them, sometimes a little more, and that's usually because of the fact that I'm a little busy doing what I always do and it's hard to do these episodes. But also the other thing is, I need to see a couple games and I need some material to talk about. But I got a lot of material to talk about now. Lots of material to talk about because it might have been only 2 games since the last NetsBoy episode. But these 2 games could go down. I can't even say that because I can't even say they can go down as like the worst games I've ever seen the Nets play because I've say that like almost every episode now. This is one of the most unbelievable turn of events I've ever seen these last 2 games. These last 2 games have made it so that this Nets team is going to be lucky to even make the playoffs. Now I know there's still like 4 games up on the Wizards, but trust me, the way they're playing now, that's not a significant lead, and next thing you know, it's gonna go like that. So, 2 games since the last episode, Hawks and Heat, and I don't even know which loss was worse. I guess the Hawks loss has to be considered worse, considering they're the fucking Atlanta Hawks, and they're the worst team in the NBA, or one of the worst teams in the NBA. 3rd worst record in the league. And, they're a complete garbage team. And not only did the Nets lose to the Hawks, they got destroyed by the Hawks. Absolutely blown out, lit up, embarrassed. There's not enough adjectives to describe that loss that the Nets had. It was so ugly. And I don't know what was going on. Was it just one of those, you could say, oh, that's probably just one of those nights. That shouldn't happen. One of those nights don't happen to teams that are supposed to be in the playoffs. One of those nights aren't supposed to happen to a team that's supposed to have the better players on it. Because the Nets are supposed to have a better team than the Hawks. Other than Trae Young and maybe arguably John Collins, everybody else on the Nets is much better than the Hawks team. But not on that night, apparently. And I think I heard, I read, or they said that, the Hawks set a record. Actually, I know that the Hawks set a record against the Nets. 141 points was also the most points the Nets have ever given up since, 1980-something to a team in regulation. The Hawks shot 48% from 3, I think, or something crazy like that. Or from the floor. I don't even remember. All the numbers were ridiculous, and I'm just watching this game, and I'm just laughing. I'm laughing the whole time, are you kidding me? It's bad enough that they have lost to the Wizards before that, and then and they lost to the Magic before that. They're losing to these teams that they should be better than, and I'm like, wow, this is it. This is an all-time low, right? It's an all-time low for the Nets to be blown out by the Atlanta Hawks and lose by almost 30 points. It just absolute embarrassment. So like I said, I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing at that. I'm like, you know what? This is hysterical. And then the Miami game. Next game. By the way, I got so discouraged from that disastrous loss to the Hawks. I almost didn't even watch the Miami game. I just basically was at a point. I'm at a point now where I don't even feel like I want to watch this team play because all they're going to do is piss me off and disappoint me tremendously. So I just, I said, you know what? I guess I'll watch the game. Why not? Maybe the Nets will shock me and pull off an upset win in Miami. But if they're going to get blown out by the Hawks, what makes me believe that they're going to be able to beat the Heat? So I'm watching the Heat game, and, the Nets are down by, 12, and they come back, and they're down again. It's back and forth. And I'm like, well, they're hanging in there. They're looking pretty sharp. And then they're down by about, 10 or 11 with 4 minutes to go. And I actually said, the Nets are going to come back and get in the striking distance. The way the game was going, I had that feeling that they were going to come back and get within striking distance. And sure enough, they do. And not only, so then they become down by 4 with, down by 4 with 13 seconds left or something like that. Great play written up by Kenny Atkinson to get Joe Harris an open three out of the timeout. He hits the three. The Nets are down by one. The ensuing possession, they foul Jimmy Butler, and he misses one out of two. And the Nets are only down two with, what was it, 9 seconds left in the game. And I'm like, oh man, are they gonna steal this game or are they gonna screw it up? And of course I really knew deep down they were gonna screw it up, because why wouldn't they screw it up? They always find ways to lose. That's what this team does. I've talked about it in my last episode, I've talked about it before. It just seems like the Nets can never fully get over the hump and win a game. It just, nope, not for the Nets. So I'm watching this last possession, and I just said, you know what? This has been a great comeback. Just get a shot off, right? I've talked about this all the time in other Nets boys way back. Nothing pisses me off more than when you lose by not even getting a shot off, right? Whether you turn the ball over well, really, that's the only way to not get a shot off, or you wait too long to take the shot, or you do something stupid. I hate that. Like, if you're gonna lose, at least get off a shot for a chance. Like the loss to the Wizards with Dinwiddie and his step back shot. Like, I just can live with that because he got the shot off. Even the loss before that with Torian Prince missing that terrible three, I could live with that because at least they got the shot off. So here we go. Here's the play. And you could tell the play was for Joe Harris to come off the screen, and the Nets were going for the win. The Heat guarded it beautifully, and Dinwiddie just starts freezing. Literally like he was like shocked. Like, oh my goodness, what do I do? What am I supposed to do now that the first option is gone? And this is the one thing that drives me nuts. When you write a play out of the timeout, and this is, Kenny Atkinson has his pros and his cons, and he's usually pretty good at coming up with plays out of timeouts. But when a play breaks down, you need to tell your guys what plan B is, right? Like, if you're Kenny Atkinson, you should expect there to be a contingency plan when you write a play. Say, here's the play, guys. We're going to do a double round screen, and we're going to have Joe Harris come off of two screens and try to get open for the three, just like, by the way, the same exact play we just basically did. We'll get it into Dinwiddie first, and then we'll have him come around the screen. But what he has to say to the guys is, if it's not there, this is plan B. And it looked like plan B was to space the floor and have Wilson Chandler play on the other side, which he was open. And the play then should have been like, okay, kick it to him. Because if they're going to be guarding Joe Harris that tightly, someone could probably get some separation. So that's what it looked like. But it looked like Dinwiddie didn't get this message. And Dinwiddie's just holding the ball freezing. And then with 4 seconds to go, throws what could go down in history as the worst pass in the history of basketball. And I don't care what anybody, I have never seen a pass be so crappy and awful in my life. And you could tell the ball slipped out of his hands and goes like 10 feet over Wilson Chandler's head. And I'm just looking at it. I'm watching this play develop, and I see Dinwiddie shot put a pass that just launches over Wilson Chandler's head. Out of bounds. Wilson Chandler doesn't even jump for the ball because he's just looking at it like, what? He needs a rocket in his ass to catch the pass, and he's just... It is unfreaking believable. And of course, so the Nets lose because it's like 1.3 seconds left, and they have to foul again, and they barely do it. It's over. They lose the damn game. They don't even get a shot off. The worst freaking pass I've ever seen. And Dinwiddie's just like, oh my God, like, how did I do that? Like, what the hell? Are you freaking kidding me? You can't even pass the ball to a guy to get a shot off? Like, I know someone who is always talking about conspiracies. I'm going to share this with you because I used to make fun of him about this nonstop, but now I'm starting to believe it. He's all into conspiracies and stuff, and he believes that like everything is rigged, and he believes that the Nets and Knicks can never both win on the same night, and the reason behind that is because of gambling. He says that local people will bet are more likely to bet on their teams to win, and Vegas and all the betting sites and all the betting people, they want to make sure that they get at least their money half the time, right? So if all the Knicks and Nets fans bet on their teams to win. As long as one of them loses, the gamblers and the gambling places, they'll win their money. They'll get their 50%. So he believes everything's rigged, and he believes that the Nets and Knicks will never, ever both win on the same day. Which, by the way, I have no idea if this actually has happened, because I'm sure, well, this year it's kind of fluky because both teams suck. So the odds of them both winning on the same night are very unlikely, but that could be more of a coincidence. But here's the thing. The Knicks won that night. The Knicks beat the Bulls, right? The Knicks beat the Bulls Saturday afternoon. So maybe he's right. Maybe Dinwiddie's in on it. I don't know. Because Dinwiddie's just like, oh, wait, the Knicks won today. I'm supposed to lose now. Here you go, Wilson. And throws them like I'm not actually really believing this, obviously, but it's just fun to think about as something crazy. But like that's what it seems like, right? And I started going back in some history, and I didn't go to the beginning of the year, but yeah, I don't think the Knicks and Nets have both won on the same day. And like, I don't know. I have to go back and really check. But like, seriously, like I don't believe it, but it's kind of crazy because that's what it seems like. And Dinwiddie's in on it. Dinwiddie's getting paid off. Who knows? I don't know. That's what it seems like when you launch the ball 10 feet over a guy's head in crunch time. So it's absolutely crazy. This team is absolutely crazy. I don't even know what to expect the rest of this year. I'm so frustrated. I'm so mad. That's why I couldn't wait till a week from last episode to do an episode. I just had to get this out of my system. Screw going over the next couple games because, first of all, I went over a bunch of them last episode. And also, what's the freaking point? They're probably going to lose anyway. So, I haven't given up on the year because the way it's going, the Nets are going to accidentally make the playoffs. You know, even like I said, they're 4 games up on the Wizards. I do believe that they should make the playoffs, but I can't even guarantee that because, like I said in the beginning of the episode, I wouldn't be surprised at this point if they keep losing and don't make the playoffs, but they really should. But they're going to accidentally make the playoffs, so this team is still relevant. But it's just tough, man. And every game I'm watching now, I just don't know how much more I can take. But there you have it. So this is my NetsBoy episode venting off that frustration. That's really what it is. Let me know what you guys think about the world's worst pass, the terrible loss to the Hawks, the guy I know's crazy conspiracy that the Knicks and Nets both can't win on the same day or same night, which seems like it's happening. And by the way, I don't actually believe Spencer Dinwiddie is in on it. And also, once again, I don't really actually believe in that conspiracy. I just think both teams suck, and the odds of them both winning are very unlikely. So I don't really believe that. It's just kind of fun to kind of throw out there because it seems to be a very much reoccurring coincidence that both those teams happen that can't win on the same night. So, yeah. But, food for thought. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about anything you want. How disappointed you are with this Nets team, which I expect everyone to be disappointed with them. And keep your eyes open to the next NetsBoy episode, and let's see if this damn team can figure out how to win a damn game. And until then, this is NetsBoy, signing off. When the Nets just can't